Hello, Russ from Grass Chat here in unusual pre-recorded form. The reason why we're just doing this is nothing more than to just reintroduce Watch Along, which we did throughout lockdown and everything in 2020, and after a busy autograss racing season, despite the delayed start and all of the stepping stones that had to be made along the way. The season has now ended, and we thought, let's keep autographs going. So what we're going to do is just a little bit of a preview for what we can expect to come in our watch-alongs, which started off as just watching specific races, various races, which was part of Races to Remember, and then we sort of stretched it along and started filming more meetings and such. From years gone by out of my DVD collection. So this is a bit unusual for me, doing it pre-recorded. Normally we do everything live, but we just haven't had time to be able to do live videos, being busy with work and everything else, family life obviously taking priority. But we are hoping that we're going to do some watch-alongs and a bit more throughout the off-season, and keep you guys entertained and interested, and keep Grass Chat going as well, because it has been a bit quiet in recent times. So without further ado, this is a bit of a preview of what we can expect in our type of watch-alongs, where we're going to look back at a DVD that I've just selected for the time being, and we may come back to it and watch a bit more in depth live on the Grass Chat page. So I'm going to turn it around so then you don't see me, and we'll get the camera set up. So this DVD, which we're just going to have a little watch of, and obviously when you get to see it, feel free to reminisce and share any comments that you have. So this DVD is one of the few that I was actually missing from out of my collection, and very kindly Lee Corbett sent me this last year. Or it might have even been early this year, and I've not really watched it too much. In fact, a lot of the DVDs I've got I've not had time to properly watch. So this was 1986, the Men's National Championships, and I thought I'd share with you a little bit. So whenever you get time to watch it, I hope you enjoy. So what we do during our watch-alongs is we literally just select a DVD of a specific meeting, and we watch it together. I watch it here at home, you can watch it wherever you are on whatever device you've got, and yeah, feel free when you do watch it live to mention anything in the comments. So as I say, this is 1986. Things look a little bit different today, don't they? Look at those road vehicles. First autograss car we see then, a Bristol South 101, very nice Class 9 machine by the look of it, but I'm not familiar who that is. I should have the programme to this meeting somewhere, and if I found it, I'd be able to find it. The Yates Sudbury car, is that number 3? So this was at Hanbury, look at that, escort van, towing that one in, heavily undercover. Todd Macker with a Ford Escort towing his special. Martin Tinker, still racing of course, now in Class 7, but was in Class 5 back then. Dave Booton, Steve Chase, I believe in the Isle of Wight 108, before he moved over to the mainland and joined Sturton as Sturton 12. So what we'll do is we'll play this intro, and then I'll look at playing a couple of finals, and it'll just give you a taster of what we can do. And usually I do talk through it, add a bit of running commentary to the DVDs, just in case video quality is not that great and you don't quite see what is on. But if there's anything which is being spoken about on the DVD, then I'll be quiet and I'll let you be able to listen to it. So Paul Huggett and Paul Bailey, everybody knows of Paul Bailey, Hereford man.
1986. We're at Hanbury in Worcestershire, and the meeting is organised by the Midland Autographs Promotions. MAP are no strangers to organising the Nationals. This is at least the 4th meeting held here in the Hanbury area, and it's expected to be a good one. This year looks like being especially competitive. There are a lot of new drivers on the national scene this year, as well as the established stars in autograss racing. There's going to be some hot competition. I'm Paul Hogg. With me this afternoon is Paul Bailey. Paul's a long-time autograss competitor, but this year I'll gather you're taking time out.
Yeah, this year I've changed from Class 6 saloon to a Class 9 special. It's taken me a while just to get into the side, so unfortunately this year I haven't qualified. But luckily enough, it's given me an opportunity to do some of these interviews.
Paul's from the Hereford Club, and the Hereford Club have a reputation to uphold because they've managed to produce the National Champion of Champions on several occasions. Paul won't be making it this time out, but some of the colleagues who have raced in the past and scored well in the Nationals will be racing. I gather Dave Hill's in contention.
He's here today, yes, and he's got his car and he's going very well.
Yeah, Russell Tyler, of course, the man who won the Nationals 2 years ago, will have had a hand in a good many of the engines from the Hereford region. Also, in all the other sections, it looks like some very stiff competition from all over the United Kingdom, or at least from England and Wales, ranging from the northwest down to the southeast. A lot of the drivers are unknown quantities, but we'll be able to see how they go when the racing gets underway, which is not too long from now. Paul, any other ideas? Have you seen a lot of troubles with scrutineering this year? There's always seems to be a lot of people doing frantic last-minute work.
I do, but I must admit, this year I've seen there's a bay over to the one side where cars go when they fail scrutineering and they have to have work done on. We walked past it a minute ago and there was only 4 cars in there. So by the look of it, on the whole, it seems scrutineering has gone very well this year.
Excellent. Do you think are there many non-runners? Have you managed to check out who's actually missing?
I don't think there's many non-runners. Class 10 seems to be the only class at the moment with a few gaps in their ranks at the moment.
Of course, Class 10, one of the pinnacles of autograss racing, the unlimited specials, and that's where you can expect to see some really hot competition from the likes of Terry Brown, Mick Morgan, Dave Yardley, and Barry Glendenning from Yorkshire, and a whole assortment of drivers. It's a very varied machinery. At the moment, the marshals are being briefed for the occasion, and with officials drawn from all over the National Autograss Sport Association clubs in Great Britain, that means they've got a lot of sorting out to do to make sure that they're in the right place at the right time, and there's been a lot of interest shown in marshal training over the last couple of years.
Yes, they've taken note of a few of the last national finals and a few of the problems that have thrown up crossover lines and problems like that, especially last year. It was very wet conditions and some of the cars coming off the line were tending to slide and slip across, and they were being very cautious on the crossover flag. So this year, I think they're going to give and take a little bit and allow a bit of sliding and moving about. But on the whole, the marshals looks like it's going to be very good.
What do you think of the track, Paul? It looks, as usual, of course, it's on fresh grass, and that sometimes produces problems if it's wet. But although it rained overnight, the track looks in good shape.
I think the track is very good, actually. With driving in here, I noticed driving over it, it's still very hard in the foot. It's easy to go. Yeah, I think there's going to be no problems at all. It's a nice big track. Suits everybody, I think.
I don't know if it's an optical illusion, but at one end it seems that there's one bend is somewhat tighter than the other. The straights don't seem to be parallel. Is that right?
Possibly, just a fraction, but I don't think it's going to make any difference to the drivers.
It should be interesting. There's plenty of width, and of course with fresh soil under wheel, it could be some very good racing right from the word go.
So a bit of an introduction there to the DVD as such from Paul's Huggett and Bailey. Paul Huggett did a lot of commentating on these DVDs.
As ever, the meeting starts with the standard Class 1 cars. These can either be a 998cc Mini or the British Leyland 1100 variety. The cars are kept at the basic minimum of preparation, that is, involving the safety aspect, the roll cages, the skinning out of the car, the general preparation to make sure that driver safety is of the paramount importance, but performance should be more or less equal because of the use of standard components. Leading the race at the moment, the North Shropshire car of Ian Beckett. Ian's car, a fairly typical 998cc Mini, but running in second place is one of the 1100s, the cars that used to rule the roost in Class 1 until the 998 Mini came along as opposed to the 850 variety. Driving the 1100 is David Biercraft from the Forest Club. Behind him is a man from the Concord Club in Essex, David Digby, who's been to a number of national championships in the past. He's never managed to win the title yet, but the Concord Club has produced some winners, including the National Champion of Champions, Mike Jennings, in the past. So Dave Digby comes from good stock for doing well particularly in the mini variety of car at the Nationals. The track, as you can see, is completely grass at the moment. One of the rules of the National Championships is that it must take place on a fresh track each year. And of course that makes things fairly slippery for the starters. Class 1 cars, well able to cope with the conditions. They haven't got an excess of power, they don't induce a lot of wheel spin, but they do manage to get some pretty close competitive racing. Having said that, the man...
I'm pretty sure looking at this, the marshal's post wouldn't pass today an inspection. They don't look like they would hold very much if a car ran into them. All the marshals, though, wearing the scientists' white coats.
5 laps of the track.
They're very brave, aren't they? Back in the 80s, they always stood right near the infield marker tyres.
Managed to pull off. Already prepared for the checkered flag, Beckett will come home.
Not much of an outside catch fencing either, is there, on that far side? There is post and rope, or wire rope, on this side.
10-point scorers in Class 1 will go through to the final. Ian Beckett takes the win, with David Biercraft in second place in 333F, and David Digby in third in C349E.
So what we might actually do instead is we might play a bit of this early stages of it, just for another 10 minutes or so, and that'll be your taster.
I've got a few problems.
Have you?
Yeah. I don't know, I've been all through the car.
Dave Simmons, the flying
There's
milkman.
misfiring on top end, and I don't know, I've been through everything virtually.
Yeah. Is this a new car for the Nationals?
Yeah, so I raced this car at the Nationals last year and I was runner-up.
Yeah.
Winning it most of the way. But this year I can't seem to get it together, so it right year somewhere along the line.
The car's not been running as well this year, is it?
Well, I haven't raced it very much. I haven't raced it, I've only raced it a few meetings. I'm trying to get it right for the day. I don't know, I seem to be having problems galore.
You're not quite happy with the way
I'm not happy with
the moment.
I'm not happy with things at the moment at all, not one bit.
You're just doing a few fine adjustments.
Trying to eliminate things.
Alan Hogg, the 1985 national champion.
Alan, last year's 1985 champion. Yeah. How do you see his chances this year?
It's been difficult to say. We'll have to we'll see after the first 2 weeks, I think.
Who do you see as your main opposition here today?
Well, there's 2, isn't there, really? Flying Milkman and 875 is going well.
Yeah, we've just been talking to the Flying Milkman there, and he said he's having a few problems.
Has he? Oh,
yeah.
I've never had a chance to speak to him.
Do you think that's just? Do you think he's just psyching you up, or?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just put this new engine in, I believe. He only puts it in for the Nationals.
Are you just doing the driver skill in the end, is it?
Driver skill and tyres.
Is there anything special about your car that makes you
Late great Rob Davis, 4-time national champion.
The speed, isn't it?
Money spent on it?
Money? You think money wins races?
Well, money and the work.
And work.
Fine. Time involved with it.
Seemed a very shy fellow,
to detail,
isn't he? Looking there.
The best I know.
Yeah. Nothing
He was still fairly new to the sport. I think he was only in his second year. I think he only started in 1975.
You're going to swap tyres around?
Yeah. Put my axe on it, see?
You think so?
Yeah, recommended by the champion of champions last year.
So,
Class 1, Heat 2.
yeah, Rob Davis, sadly no longer with us.
In the first
4-time national winner.
We've got defending champion Alan Hogg in R32 with one of his leading
Monday,
contenders,
I think it was.
just happens to be grouped with him throughout the meeting, S17D, Dave Simmons, the flying milkman from Stroud in Gloucestershire. Dave's been trying to win the national championships for a good many years now. Alan Hogg beat him to it last year, and Alan is leading him in this heat. This heat was run without these 2 drivers first off. It seems that a mix-up in the paddock area failed to see these 2 cars get to the line in time, so there is a rerun. It's still being led by the same man who led the first showing of this race. That's Malcolm Perrott in Ludlow 22.
Malcolm Perrott,
the young man has
22.
been going extremely well this year in the Ludlow area. Ludlow, of course, the 1985 national.
So we'll skip the DVD along in a moment, once this race is finished. See a couple different classes before we end this little video for you.
It's Alan Hogg, the 1985 national champion, in second place, and Dave Simmons, I should say, in third place. Alan Hogg's R32 car looking immaculately prepared. It looks very much as though Alan started with a new body shell for the Nationals in 1986. He's determined to try and hold on to that championship title. Of course, he's one of the local men racing in the Midland Autograss Promotions League with the Radford Club, hence the R prefix to the number. All the cars, of course, carrying their club prefix, the SD on Dave Simmons' car, Stroud and District. C310E, the Concord Essex car. That's Jed Duff. ARC car in trouble there from the Antrobus Racing Club. That's Keith Tolbert, and he's not having a happy start to his racing. It's another win, and in fact he won the first running of this heat. They'll compare it, so he stays exactly where he was in the points. He'll be relieved about that. Alan Hogg takes second place, and Dave Simmons third.
Class 2's there.
But it's Mike Bevan fighting it out now with WS Treble 2, Mike Fairhurst. Fairhurst in the escort trying hard around the outside. The NSU tucked onto the inside. They go very close together as they come out of turn 4.
Class 2s were of course rear wheel drive only back in, well, up until 1996, and then for 97 front wheel drives were allowed in. I think it was. No, 98, sorry. 98 was when front wheel drives were emerging. There was a couple running around, but they were classified as Class 2A, and they wasn't officially Class 2 at the time.
The rest of the field some way behind the two leaders now as they fight it out for first place and those vital qualifying points. Mike Bevan looking very good, but the Weymouth man chasing him all the way. Mike Fairhurst. Weymouth, of course, had produced a class winner in the past in Class 2. Last lap flag is up. Mike Fairhurst's last opportunities coming up to try and take the lead. One more bend, the pit bend to negotiate. Mike Bevan looks as though he's going to hold on, but in autograss racing, absolutely anything can happen. The track conditions change all the time. Fairhurst gets on the inside for the first time, but it's too late. Mike Bevan takes the win, and heat 4 for Class 2.
Suitable spectating point. So let's just skip along, shall we? They look like Class 3s.
When I got onto the microphone, but whenever I got hold of it, the old Egypt car seemed to be going well. So I think the Egypt boys are trying just a little bit hard, you see, because they know I'm gunning for it.
Very wide line for Pete Haynes.
Everybody, I'm not really biased. I just want to see everybody enjoy themselves and have a real good weekend. So we're doing it all. We have no aggravation whatsoever this weekend. Excellent 7, I will be coming through. That's all we want.
And the third heat underway of Class 4, sponsored by the National Grass Racer, the Racing Magazine, with CO26 there. Richard Ellis just got a narrow lead as he go into the corner, but capitalised lap going very wide. I'm sure that's a gap for NW10 to come through. Ian Morris, he doesn't, and so S51 wide takes the same advantage. Scott Morris, I don't think they're related, but the Morris is there in the beginning. Age 15 now showing, that's Alan Thomas, last year's champion of champions. As we get a car going round on the corner there, but Alan Thomas goes into the lead. NW298 goes a bit near the fence, but he controls it well. Just Leslie Ingram there up in 5th place. In 4th place is the Evesham man, 316 Simon Jackson. But leading by almost half a straight already is the Hereford car of Alan Thomas, age 15 there. He's got 1-2 cars closing up on the corner, but they seem to be going wide and not making any impression really on the total distance between them and Alan Thomas. S51Y on the inside, Scott Morris, M219, that's clearly it now with Alan Thomas going through, as you can see there. And there's the battle with NY185 just pulling out on one side. He's got a vent front steering there, but S51 in 2nd place, Scott Morris, CO26 in 3rd, in 4th. It's M219, Gary Cook from East Midlands there. S51, but coming out of the pitch corner to to take the flag for the last lap. Alan Thomas there, comes up to show that he's seen it. And he's got half a lap lead over the second place car, which is S51, coming through from Scarborough, Yorkshire. Being challenged by CO26 Richard Ellis, and then M219 in 4. And there's still cars flying at the back of the field, and 1 or 2 victims of disasters, but it looks as though it's going to be a win. And it is certainly for 8:15.
So we'll just skip along to a couple more races. Class 7s. We'll do a Class 7, this Class 7 race, and then a specials race, and then we'll wrap this little video up for tonight.
Without a fight this year, he's leading this heat already, but with some pretty strong challengers in contention out there.
Hogg.
The Northwestern car, 136, Mike Northmore.
Yeah, Mike Northmore ahead of Mike Oldby.
Quite well in second position. Hogg not making too much of a job of pulling out his lead until this lap, and then down goes the boost. Hogg goes into the lead. He's backing off quite a lot on the turns. He doesn't want to spin his chances away. He knows that 3 finishes in the first 3 will probably be quite good enough to get him into the final. He sees no need at this stage to tear the insides out of his engine, but already he's got a substantial lead. Mike Northmore in second in NW136, then Mike Holtby, then G27D in 4th position. Mike Fishball.
Did sound good though, didn't it, Boss's car? One of the best sounding out there, I'd have to say.
We're with the leader, Jeff Boss Hogg, Swansea. A very, very impressive driver on these loose surface tracks for over the last 5 years. He's been in Class 7 for that sort of length of time, getting better and better. He's come close to the National Championships a couple of times. He won in 1985 in no uncertain terms at Ludlow. Looking at the battle of the second place, Mike Northmore slows up a little on the inside. As they cross the line, he's no point in keep on tearing the motor to pieces. Once the checkered flag's gone down, he backs off quickly. It's enough to get him the second place, and a very good shot at qualifying for the final. Mike Holtby finishing in 3rd in the Mark III Escort, and a good place for him with that very smart car.
Right, let's have a look.
Jockeying for places going on in front of
An Isle of Wight car, number 39. There's Vinny parked up, I think. Gareth Thomas, the late Gareth Thomas. Racing Border Counties 9. John Gaffney, Mount Pritchard. Matt Pritchard won the Nationals in 1983. The Gaffer never quite made it in an S1 despite trying so hard in a variety of classes.
And Gareth Thomas, with nobody pressing him, did extremely well in a time of 2:25 for the race. A speed of 71.8.
So we'll let this little race finish, and then that'll do on this video. Not sure. Oh, there's Vinny going round in that one actually. This is a later heat. Must be the second heat because it's looking to get a bit dark there at Hanbury. Barry Glendenning, the York Club champion at that time, York 1. Ahead of Mount Pritchard. Oh, not sure what's happened there. Somebody obviously needed a bit of assistance, but looks like the race is keeping going. Oh, okay. Vinny's done the job properly. He's done a proper job there, hasn't he?
Barry Glendenning clocked a speed of 86.9, which is the fastest time of the day.
There we go. Yeah, that's a little teaser of what's to come. A bit of a just under 25-minute video there. And I hope when you watch this you enjoy it, and feel free to share anything in the comments. But join us very soon. We are going to go live just to explain what we're going to get up to during the off season. We've got lots planned. It's just whether we get the time to put it all together. So whatever happens, I hope you join us for it. And if you do, I hope you enjoy it. Take care, everybody. Thank you if you watch this. And if you do, please share it. Get more people interested. Get more people involved. And when we go live to do this properly, we should have a good number watching, shouldn't we? So, Russ from Grass here. Take care. See you soon.